There are very, very clear reasons why your business will never scale past certain revenue marks. And if you're the owner and looking inside your own business, a lot of times you're blind to it because you're too close to it. And so you miss these simple things. But on this episode, we're going to talk about 4 main reasons why your pest control company will never scale past $50,000 per month of revenue. If you're new here, my name is Landon. I'm the host of The Route. On this podcast, we talk about how to scale your pest control company with tactics and strategies and proven ways of getting to a 7-figure level in a pest control company. So today, let's dive into why your pest control company will never scale past $50,000 per month. Most people listening to this, you're probably doing 10, 20, maybe 30K of revenue, and you're wondering, why can't I get past these marks? Why can't I get to the 40 to 50 and beyond? And we're going to break it all down with the 4 reasons, how to fix those reasons, and what to do so you can get there a lot faster. In my post, the number 1 reason I put is you do everything yourself. You're the technician, you're the sales rep, you're the office manager, you do every single role. And honestly, that works if you're doing 10, maybe 15, maybe 20K per month. But in order to truly scale, you need to hire, delegate, and also build systems in your business that allow your business and your employees to easily succeed. Now, there's typically 3 main reasons why people get stuck at this point. Number 1 is a lack of trust. Every business owner knows that their business is like their baby. They built it from the ground up. They were there when it birthed. They were there from those early stages when it was just crawling and it started to walk, and they care about it more than anyone, and that's true. But in order to actually start to scale, you need to start trusting other people to take care of it. And the easiest way to do that is to understand that no one else will do as good of a job as you, and that's okay. But if you can get someone to 70%, 80% of your level in a certain role, or even just 70% of or 80% of caring as much as you do, it's going to be okay. And taking that 20% drop in one area, but then putting your 100% in one focused area is going to grow the business way faster. So if you don't trust other people in your business will never grow, because a one-man operation can really only get to 20, maybe 30K per month consistently. So if that's all you want, then that's okay, and you can stay there. But if you want to grow, you got to understand that hiring is part of that. Building out systems is part of that. Building out roles, onboarding manuals, delegating some tasks is part of that. And what comes with growth is pain. Like anyone who's gone through a growth spurt understands, but when you're a kid and you feel your knees or your legs are aching, it's because you're growing. And so with everything you do in life, anything you want, there's a cost associated with it. And most people just want the benefit, but they want to avoid the cost. It's impossible though. So if you want the benefit of growth, you got to accept the cost that things are going to go sideways. You're going to hire someone who doesn't do as good of a job as you. You're going to hire someone who says something wrong to a customer of yours, and that customer cancels. You're going to hire a technician who sprays something completely wrong, and the customer leaves a 1-star review. You're going to hire someone who doesn't show up on time, and 2 or 3 customers don't get service that day, and they call and complain. Like, all those things are just part of the process. And obviously there's things you can do along the way to mitigate those things and make sure it happens less frequently than otherwise. But that's part of growth. Part of growth is putting trust in someone else's hands to grow your business, and not hand-holding the whole time, but just saying, hey, this is your role, this is what I need you to do, and they're going to mess up. And it's important to understand, you as a business owner have messed up a lot of times. So if you can't give another employee that kind of grace and that kind of breathing room, then again, you're not going to grow your business. So understand, trust other people with your business. You've made tons of mistakes, and those mistakes are what have gotten you to where you're at. Had you not made all those mistakes along the way, your business would be just still in the infant stage. But because you made mistakes and things were bad for a moment, it's better now. And so if you can hire someone and they're going to mess up, they're going to do something wrong, they're going to make you really mad, they're going to show up late, they're going to not care as much as you care, they're going to, all those other things. But that's part of growth. So number 1 is make sure you can put trust in other people. Number 2, a lot of people continue to do everything themselves because of pride. They just think, number 1, I can do it better, I can do it faster, I can do it quicker. But also 2, it's no one can do it as good as me, and they just don't trust that anyone else can care about their business. But you really need to set your ego aside and give people a share of the cake. Your business is your business right now, but in order for it to grow, other people need to be bought in. And the reason people leave businesses and jobs so quickly is because there's the overarching owner who's always breathing down their neck and just wants to be their hands in everything. It's not fun for the employees. If you want employees who are really bought in and grow, you got to give them a slice of the cake, and you got to give them trust. You got to give them their own lane to grow and have them feel like, oh, I'm growing this business too. I almost have like a stake in it. You're obviously not going to give them equity right away or maybe ever, but if they can feel that, and you can let go of some of that pride, and it can feel like a team project, everyone's going to do way better. And of course, you're the one putting in all the money. You're the one putting in 2 times the work as everyone else. But if people can feel part of that culture and part of that journey, it's going to go way faster. So let go of your pride, take a step back, and let other people ride the passenger seat, or sorry, not the passenger seat. Let them ride the driver's seat, and you sit passenger, and you'll see your business grow faster. And number 3, people continue to do it themselves because they just don't know how to delegate, how to hire, how to train, how to manage. And so if you don't know how, there's 2 ways you can go about it. One is you just put yourself in the fire and you hire someone. Obviously, that's the quickest way to do it, but it's also the one that's going to have the most mistakes and expenses along the way. Number 2, you need a mentor or a manager or someone you trust to teach you and show you the ropes. And there's a lot of resources out there. That's obviously why we have Pest Launch, to shortcut the learning curve for all pest owners so they can do these kind of things quicker and faster. So we give you all of the hiring scripts, the onboarding manuals, the job postings to put up, the compensation plan. We give you everything. And so if that's something you're looking for, reach out to us via my Instagram page. We've got a website and everything there. But it's really easy just to get that kind of advice from someone who's done it before and save you tons of money and tons of time. So make sure you don't let this stage of your business hold you back of not being sure of how to do something. If you don't have access or resources right now to learn from someone else, just do it. Just put your foot forward, just try, and along the way you're going to figure out how to do it. So the number one reason why you're stuck right now is because you do everything yourself. Make sure you put trust in other people. Make sure you let go of your pride and just figure out how. Whether through, YouTube's everywhere with tons of there's people around you who have done it. You can just try. So make sure you do those 3 things and you can get to the next level. The number 2 reason is your sales process isn't repeatable. So right now, you probably don't have any creative or consistent way of getting new customers. Right now, you rely 100% on word of mouth and referrals to grow your business. That kind of customer acquisition strategy can get you to 100, 200, 300, sometimes 400 plus customers, but it'll really start to cap out because the word of mouth doesn't travel as far. The circles of where people are coming from just starting to tighten up, and you're not going to grow much more than beyond that. On top of that, when people call in or any marketing you do, you don't have sales scripts or marketing strategies that can be replicated and scaled. So you might have some things going on right now that are working, but it can't be replicated. You can't have someone else come into the business and say, hey, this is how we get customers. Can you go ahead and do it that way? There's not something like that in your business. So let's go through 3 things and 3 ways to overcome that. So number 1, if your marketing strategy right now is this way, it's not by design. It just happens. So whenever a customer calls in, it's typically not because you did something. It's just kind of luck of the draw. And again, you can grow a company to a certain level with that, but you need more design in your marketing strategy. So you need to sit down as an owner and monthly, quarterly, yearly, plan out your marketing strategy. Plan out different avenues of where you want to get customers from and look at what's worked in the past. Okay, right now we're getting 80% from referrals. We're getting 10% from word of mouth and 10% from Google. Great. Let's look at where we can invest more. How can we tighten up some of those strategies? What are some new areas we can go after? And how can we get more customers? And look at ROI from each category. Okay, right here we're spending X amount and we're getting this many customers. Oh, this is our highest ROI. Let's spend more there, whether that's time or money. Oh, on this avenue, we're spending $2,000 a month and nothing's coming from it. Let's just cut that off right now and reinvest somewhere else. So being very intentional of where you're putting your time, your money, and your attention with marketing is super important, and not just letting customers come in by default. You need to have it be by design. Number 2 is you have lack of clarity right now with your marketing. A lot of owners just don't know what works, and so they're doing a lot of different things, and they're not tracking anything in the meantime. And so there's not clarity on what's going to get us to the next level. You're kind of in the testing phase, just consistently, just trying whatever and getting a little bit from a few different places and continuing to try whatever. So again, you need more clarity on what works, what doesn't, and that's going to change from market to market, company to company, services you offer, time of year. So you need to be very and ahead of the curve with those things and have that clarity of, hey, this is our intention, this is our goal, this is the path we're going to use to get there. This is the budget we have, and let's go after it. And that's the kind of clarity that you need to have a consistent and repeatable sales and marketing process. Because once you hire someone to come in and do that, they have a path and just super clear roadmap of here's how we get new customers. Here's what you spend. Here's what you don't spend. Here's the scripts. Here's the offers. Here's the pricing. Here's the process of getting them signed up and everything in between. So having that clarity for you right now so you can replicate it. Because one hurdle a lot of owners run into is because they're doing everything themselves right now, it's easy and it's really hard to step back and take time to document everything. And so that bottlenecks them because they're never able to hire someone because they don't have any way to replicate that. Or if they do hire someone, then they spend the next 3 months just side by side with that employee, teaching them every little thing that they do. And you as an owner probably forget, oh wait, oh this is actually how I do it. Or hey, just kind of feel out and this is when you offer this. Or this, you just make things up on the fly of just how you mentally process things, and there's no structure to it. So have clarity, have structure, and have it so someone can come in just fresh out of high school, just low level employee, and get you results because your marketing and sales process is super, super clear. Number 3 with this one is you're unwilling to take risks. Any type of business growth, like we talked about with the previous number, is you need to take risks. Growth requires risks, and a lot of owners aren't willing to do that. And honestly, most times they are willing to in different areas. They're willing to risk paying for a certain software, or they're willing to risk buying a truck that they're making payments on the way out of their budget. But in terms of risks to grow the company, sometimes they get really frugal there. So make sure that you understand that any route you take to grow your business, it's going to flop at some point. Sometimes up front, sometimes month 3, sometimes consistently. But once you figure out what flops and what doesn't, then you can spend more time and money on what works. So if you're thinking about trying different types of strategies, if you've never door knocked and you're thinking about door knocking, or if you've never posted in Facebook groups and you're thinking about that, or you've never done some new move in marketing and you're thinking about that, or influencer partnerships or whatever, if you're thinking about something new and you haven't tried it yet, just try it and give yourself the breathing room to say, okay, this might flop. And if it flops, that's okay. I'm okay losing $500 in this because I'm not losing $500. I'm paying $500 to learn the right way to do it. And so many owners get paralyzed right before the edge of the cliff. And so they never pay that money. They never pay that investment to learn how it's done right. And so they get stuck in this brainstorming mode, this just thinking mode, this planning mode, and they never take action. So just understand you're not always going to get a direct return on your money. And the first money you spend on getting new customers, marketing, and sales is going to be just learning. And so just set that money aside, $500, $1,000, $2,000, whatever you want to do, and say, hey, I'm okay not getting any customers with this money. I just want to learn what works and what doesn't. So be willing to fail, be willing to take those risks, and you can get more customers and figure out what works, because to make money, you got to spend money. So be willing to spend money. And any money you spend is an investment. It's not money lost. It's investing in growth in the future. The third reason why you're not going to get past 50K per month is you don't know your numbers. And this has to be the biggest one I see across the board. Is the only number you look at in your business is your bank account, and you see $5,000 there. Cool, we're in the green, we're good to go. And it's the complete wrong and just absolutely wrong way to go about business. You don't track customer acquisition cost, gross profit, retention, lifetime value, and every other important metric. It's just, hey, are we afloat? Okay, let's just keep going. And there's multiple reasons why I see owners get stuck here, but number one is it's easier to stay oblivious. And I always compare this to health because I think it's super comparable. It's so easy to not get on the scale and just not face the truth of the numbers. It's so easy to not go run a mile and see where your cardio is at. It's so easy to not go to the doctor and see what's your blood pressure, or the dentist and see what your teeth, like everything cross board. It's easier to just keep doing what you're doing and not face reality, because how you're doing right now is you're fine in your head. And so being confronted with the actual numbers, actual results, makes you accountable to change, and so it's easier to not. If that's you, understand that sure, it might be easier to do it this way, but long term, it's the harder thing to do. Because again, back to the health analogy, it's easier right now to not step on the scale, but long term, you're going to get a heart attack when you're 50. Or it's easier to not go to the dentist right now and think your teeth are okay, but in the long run, you're going to have 10 cavities and you're going to have all these expensive procedures. Or it's always easier now, and in life, anything that's easier now is harder in the future. Anything that's harder now is easier in the future. And there's the famous quote or saying that is pretty viral online, but you just got to choose your heart, because it's hard to be in shape. It's hard to be an effective business owner. It's hard to know your numbers, but you know what's also hard? It's hard to be poor. It's hard to have a business that goes under. It's hard to be out of shape. So you just got to choose your heart, and it's always the easier side of that is being proactive and taking action and leaning into that hard rather than having the hard hit you in the back end. So if you don't know your numbers right now, don't stay oblivious. Do the hard thing first. Get gritty with it. Set aside 2 hours right now and just be like, you know what? I don't understand numbers right now. I don't know where my business is at. I haven't tracked transactions for the past 6 months, but I got to dive in now. I got to start somewhere. So I'm just going to block off this time. I'm going to get into my QuickBooks. Maybe I don't even have a QuickBooks account set up. So I'm going to set up a QuickBooks. I'm going to connect my bank accounts. I'm going to set up my P&L. I'm going to start tracking things. And you know what? Honestly, it's probably going to be pretty ugly at first. You're going to be shocked with how much money you're spending, with how low your margins are, with how much money is just going in multiple different directions, with how low your revenue actually is. Like, it'll be pretty painful at first, but if you can just take a deep gulp, swallow your pride, and say, you know what, I'm going to figure this out now, you will be so grateful tomorrow and every day after, because you're going to have way more clarity in your business on where everything's at. Revenue, expenses, gross profit, net profit, all different operating expenses and retention percentage. I mean, even outside of the P&L, just all these different numbers in your business. Once you know it, it's hard to see it at first, but once you face that hard, it gets a lot easier, because then you can tackle those things and make your business better. So that was number one. It's easier to stay oblivious, but it's actually harder. Number two is, right now you probably just don't know the value of knowing your numbers. And let me just tell you that more often than not, coming face to face with your numbers can save you tens of thousands of dollars. And that's no exaggeration. I've told this story before, but the first year in business, I paid for insurance. I had an insurance company I was using for a vehicle, a different, general liability and all that kind of stuff. And I just didn't know otherwise. So I was just paying it. And after a year or so, I sat down and I was really looking at my numbers and auditing the last year. And I was like, that number really stuck out to me. It looked like we were paying a lot in insurance, but at no point in the previous year had I noticed it or looked at it or thought twice about it. So came face to face with it, sat down, and I was like, wow, this looks like a lot. Talked to some other owners I know in the industry. They referred to me some other companies that could work better, got some quotes, and literally overnight, I saved $25,000. I was paying over $3,000 in total insurance costs, and I got that down to about $1,000 total. So I was saving over $2,000 per month. So over the next year, that's $25,000. Over the next 3 years we were in business, that's $75,000. And that's not an exaggeration. That's not just hypothetical. That's real money that I saved because I audited my numbers and it just came face to face with it. And that's the true value of it, is taking that 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, however long it takes, can truly save you 6 figures in your business. It's those little things that you don't realize right now that are just bleeding your business and your bank account right now. So if you can find that one thing or a couple things, or the employee that's overcompensated right now, or the customers that aren't being charged enough right now, or the insurance you're paying too much on, or gas costs are through the roof. I've had that too, where we looked at our gas costs and it was like, whoa, our gas is way too high. How can we fix that? And then we went back and we tightened the routes and we made things smoother and did a few other things with the business. And our gas costs cut in half the next year as a percentage of the revenue. So these little things can truly be the difference between your business just breaking even month over month and you having an extra $100K over the next several years to reinvest and grow the business. And that money can be used to hire someone, to get a better software, to get a truck, to get better equipment, whatever you want to do. And those are high leverage things in your business that can take you to the next level past $50K per month. So if you're not sure the value of knowing your numbers, understand that it's in the 6-figure range of the value of knowing your numbers. And then lastly, a lot of owners stay oblivious to it because they were just never taught how to read a P&L, how to categorize transactions, how to manage cash, any of those things. And they use that usually subconsciously as the reason why they're not doing it right now. But just know if there's something you weren't taught and that's the reason you're not doing it right now, you're going to be handicapped for the rest of your life. There's some things in life that just the system doesn't teach us, or you came as a technician and now you're an owner and there was no process in between there that teaches you not how to analyze numbers. You know, it's not on the core exam. It's not something that you get licensed for. So it's something that there's no process of learning it typically, unless you're lucky or someone teaches you, but you can't let that stop you. So make sure you come face to face with your numbers and understand how much it is costing you right now to not know your numbers. And if you do, you'll have way more clarity. And it's actually, in most cases, a lot easier than you might think to learn what to look at, how to analyze things, and get things in the right order. Understand your numbers. Last one, the fourth reason why you're never going to get to $50K per month is you're not charging enough. Hands down, every owner I've talked to, this is a common thread. Right now, your price is quote unquote competitive. You're not the cheapest, but you're not the most expensive. I can't tell you how many times I talk to owners and kind of auditing their business, talking to them, and I ask, hey, how much do you charge? And they say, for whatever, monthly service, I charge $50 to $60. I don't want to be the most expensive. There's guys that charge 100 plus, but there's guys that are really cheap too that do like 40 or 50. And so I'm right in the sweet spot. I'm right in the 50 to 60 range. And every single time I tell them, hey, that is the worst place to be. The worst place to be, because if your price is competitive, you are setting yourself up to have more competition. It's the worst thing you can do for your business. Now, when anyone looks you up or gets quotes online or whatever they do, you are in the middle of the pack. You are in the midst of the other 50 companies in your area that charge the same amount. And so it's harder for a customer to make a decision and harder for you as a business and as a business owner to stand out and differentiate yourself as a company. So if you claim to have a premium service or, hey, we do the best job, but your price is the same, those two things don't go hand in hand. So one of the best things you can do right now for your business is stop trying to be competitive. That word is kind of like a cliche, kind of catchy word of, oh, it's good to be competitive. Competitive pricing. Hey, our prices are competitive. You know what? That's actually what's killing your business. If you charge twice as much, you might get less customers, but they're paying you more, paying you on time. They're better customers. You have more room to grow, and you stand out from the competition. And everyone knows, oh, that's the premium company to go to. So stop being competitive. Number two, you likely aren't charging enough because you don't know how to stand out. Pest control is one of those things that's very common. Everyone has access to the same chemicals, same softwares, same insight on bugs and pests and how to kill them, and it's a very repetitive, common thing. So you might not know how to stand out, and it's very easy once you learn of how to deliver a premium service. Number one is spend more time at the house. Spend 30 to 45 minutes at every single house. That alone has you stand out because most companies are there, 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes. And so if they see you're there 2 to 3 times longer than their other guy, that's how customers equate value to pest control services in a lot of ways. Spend more time. Number two, cover more areas. A lot of companies will spray the house, spray the inside, and then touch up anything else you ask. Have your service be defaulted as a premium service. Even if the customer only has one need or one specific issue they're seeing, like ants on one side of the house, it doesn't matter. We do the entire property every time. So we spray the house, we granulate the entire yard, we spray the perimeter of the property, we sweep all the eaves, overhangs, garage doors, lights. We treat those areas too. We do the inside, we do the garage, everything's included. That will make you stand out a ton too, because most people are used to a quick in and out service and the guy just touches up a couple areas of the house. So spend more time and cover more areas is the two main things. And then the third thing you should do is some of those extra touch points outside of the pest control side of things. So on the way texts, having your technician automate a text that says, hey, I'm 5 minutes away, I'll see you in 5 minutes. Or a video after the service showing what was done rather than just a door hanger. Hey, here's a breakdown of everything we did. Here's what you should know. Thanks so much for being a customer. Or bringing a broom in the truck and sweeping all the driveways and walkways of any rocks or grass or things that got kicked onto those things from the technician while he was there. Or bringing the garbage bins back up from the curb. Or getting the newspaper from the driveway. All those different things that add just different touch points of premium service and premium customer experience that helps you stand out from any other company. Even just the uniforms your technicians wear or the way that your truck is branded or wrapped. All those things go hand in hand of developing this overarching brand and company that's premium. So find those ways to stand out and then charge more for that. Last reason is most owners aren't charging enough because they charge from their own wallet. A lot of owners, and you know this, a lot of owners are broke. They don't have a lot of money in their bank account, a lot of money in their business bank account or the personal bank account, and things are tight, especially from the beginning. And so when they price a service or when they develop a price sheet, there's two ways they do it that really hinders them. Is one, they know how much it costs and they're like, oh, it only cost me $5 of chemicals. Why would I charge $200 for this? And then two, they think about what they would pay for the service. Like, oh, I can get it done for $5. I mean, I would pay $50 for this. And it's the complete wrong way to think about things. Number one is you need to disassociate the cost from the price. Price and value is what someone is willing to pay for a service. The cost is just the back end of things. Like think about soda. Soda costs a fraction of what they charge. You can get a soda for $1, $2 at the store, especially fountain drinks. Just think about like any fast food place. You can get a fountain drink for $1.50. It costs probably 2 or 3 cents for that whole cup. And so their margins are 90+%. If the manufacturers at Coca-Cola or those other companies thought about, oh, it only costs us this much, so we should only charge this much, why would we charge way more? They would be out of business. So you need to start thinking as a business owner, not as a technician, and understand the margins, because especially right now, if you're a one-man show, having low margins is going to keep you stuck forever. Because if it only costs you, say, $10 to do a house and you're charging $40 or $50, you don't have any margin built in to grow, to get another truck, to eventually hire a technician to replace you, to get more softwares and equipment and better chemicals and all those things. You don't have the margin there. So from the very beginning, you need to build in that margin in your price. So even if you're a one-man show, you should charge $150 per service. It's going to cost you $10 maybe some of your time, and you're going to have huge margins. And if that feels weird to you, then you need to understand business differently. Business is about delivering value to customers and then paying you what is worth it to them. You're saving them time, you're saving them worry, you're saving them inconvenience, and so they're paying you for that. Make sure you charge based on value, and do not charge from your own wallet. If someone's willing to pay $150, $200, $250 per service, that's what they're willing to pay. And you don't need to worry or feel weird about charging them more. There's people right now in different cities and different areas within your city who pay 2, 3, 4, 5x for the same services you pay for. There's just levels to things. So go after those people. Make sure you charge a lot more, and your business will grow way faster because you'll have the built-in margin to hire, scale, and grow the company. So quick recap. The 4 main reasons why you will never get to 50K per month is lack of trust and wanting to control your business. You're doing everything yourself. Number 2, your sales process and marketing process isn't repeatable. Number 3, you don't know your numbers. And number 4, you're not charging enough. If any of those hit home with you, reach out to us on Instagram. We help owners in each of those stages because each of those is fixable. And those are simple bottlenecks that we help you unlock so you can scale past that. But hopefully some of the things we covered on this episode were helpful. If this was, please leave a review. Please share this with another owner who might be in one of those stages or trying to get past 50K or any certain revenue mark per month. And hopefully we'll see you on the next episode.